So guys, today's video is going to be on this Briggs and Stratton carburetor off of a Quantum series or L-head Quantum series. Here is the engine of the carb that we are pulling it off of, or a similar engine. This is just a normal style. If you keep panning over, we got the auto choke style, which is a little bit different. There's two different setups of that. This is the older style, and if we come over here, this is actually off of one of these engines. It's off of an older Toro recycler. They have the really old style auto choke, or choke style, I believe. So yeah, this is gonna be pretty easy to do. These are pretty easy to do, so I'll show you. All you need is a ratchet, or first let me go over the tools. So paper towels, I like to keep some of them. You're gonna need a 1/2 inch. This is just easier. Wire brush, sometimes, not always. Gasket scraper, not always either. Pliers, that's just, a lot of these tools, you really only need this. But I just like having extras. Magnetic tray, carb cleaner. I'm using Blaine's Farm and Fleet because it's cheap. They sell it for like $1.99 a can, so I usually stock up on the stuff when it's on sale. Bought about 6 cans last time. So let's get started into this. First off, there's a 1/2 inch bolt on the bottom. Once you do that, you can switch to this. And all of the carburetors off these are pretty much all the same. And you can go into these more in depth. You can buy rebuild kits this is a bowl. This is the float. This is the needle. This is the main jet. Make sure that isn't clogged. That's pretty much the reason. And as you can see, you can't see through it, which is a big thing, and that's probably why it's not running. But like I was saying, you can buy rebuild kits for these. I don't know, I'm not sure on prices or anything. You can pull out these too, but I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna rebuild it and just spray it out with carb cleaner. So once you got it disassembled, I like to have a trash can. And I know I don't recycle these. They get properly thrown away on like toxic waste days or whatever. So you just blow it out, blow it in there. Safety goggles wouldn't hurt. You know, just blow it off. Outside, this one's pretty clean. I like to clean them up. Get in there. Get in there. As you see, it's dripping out of there, which is good. Then there's 2 holes right here. And you blow them out. I like to use also compressor. You don't need this. You can just let an air dryer blow it out, but compressor is nice. So make sure that gasket is on there. This bowl is pretty nasty, so I'm just gonna give it a little bit of carb clean. Then I'm going to take a paper towel. Oh, by the way, I use Scott's workshop towels. Here, you can show camera on there. I usually buy them in bulk, about 6 rolls or 2 rolls or 4 rolls. I used to use, there's a couple other brands that are good, but that's just the ones I use because they're the easiest for me to get. So float, you just wipe it off, make sure there's no dirt on it or anything else. It's pretty easy. I usually like to have a paper towel I put all my cleaned parts on. Make sure the pin is clean, make sure the needle is clean, that tip. And then this, as you can see, you can't see through it. So that's where the wire brush, you kind of want to wire brush it. Just get that wire brushed off. And then you can use, say, a wire brush. So you just say, see this here? Just like pull it out, and then you can use that to unclog it. Obviously they make, and then you can actually see through it now, as you can see. But I'm also going to use carb spray, which also works good too. Should probably get one on here. Maybe I might do a little bit more with a little wire brush. So that's working good, I would say. Let me take one last good look at it. Pretty good. I'm going to blow it out with the compressor as well. If you were wondering, I am using a 2 horsepower I believe 8-gallon can is how it's sealed with just a normal tip. You can buy lots of different ones. But now what you do is you take your float, take your needle, and you get it right in there, right where the seat is. Then you get your pin, you get it right in there. And then put that right there. Hand tighten this because, oh, and also make sure that gasket is good. Hand tighten this, you want to make sure it's in there straight. I didn't get in there enough, I guess. This is brass, by the way, too, so make sure you don't strip out this head. Otherwise, you're going to have to buy a new carburetor. And if you don't want to rebuild it, I understand that. You could always just buy a new one, cheap Chinese one. That's what I did on the yard machines I made the video on. I made the video on swapping it. If you guys want to check that out. It's on my channel. So that just goes into like how you swap it, and this video is going to be how you rebuild the carburetor. But once that's tight, probably good enough by hand. You really don't need to get that tight. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to about it. Sometimes you might need this, and like there's other gaskets like that one, and then there's also the ring gasket, but this video is just about rebuilding this. And you can buy rebuild kits that come with all of the gaskets and seals and everything, but this is just a cheap and easy way to do it because you really don't need that. And then just put all your paper towels in there. And I'd even use this. But, so I'll go over the engine one more time. 600 series, Quantum Series L-head. There's lots of different names you could call for it. But these are pretty easy to do. I actually just did that one. That one's a little bit different. It's a little bit harder. Same with those two. But the inside are the exact same. And if you come back over here, you could also pull out that. But I did not because it looks fine. And this carburetor will be a good one to add to the shelf. And this one is already cleaned. And some of them you can adjust them, but this one you don't. They don't have an adjuster on. So, yep, that's going to be the end of this video. So I'll see you in the next one. Peace.